to lead to other consequences, like maybe public opinion can be a hinder for you by overall difficult to explain, but
Right.
Your society could give you emotional affect, harmful
Social
affect
pressure,
that
maybe, would you like to say?
social, yes, it's like that, and it leads to losing your morality and motivation. You will one day you could say maybe they are right and stopping reaching your goal and give up. If you give up, you will never reach your goals.
Okay. So in this case, is there any cultural difference about keeping goals, for example?
Cultural differences.
It means between cultures, is there any big difference in this case, keeping goals to yourself?
Difficult. I don't know. I think that no, I'm not sure that everything is the same, but maybe character of nations has effects. Like one nations like to sharing about their wins always and make news only around that, and others don't very don't try to spread this with their wins. They think they are equal to their losses too, and so they don't they are not caring about this. But for one guys, it's very important to share with their goals.
For example, between Japan, Chinese, Russian, Kazakh people, is there any big difference?
Maybe yes. No, it's my like logical idea. Maybe because of China has many people within. They have many achievements every single day, and they will try to share only with something very special or very difficult, interesting achievements of their human. And like Kazakh, who has a very small population, try to always share with their wins to show their importance in the world, try to increase their popularity, maybe.
Okay, can you see the vocab now?
Yes.
Please check them.
Acknowledge, gratification, inevitable, implicit, perception, skeptical, tenacious, counterintuitive,
perfect.
Counterintuitive, nuance, intriguing.
So, do you know their meaning?
Skeptical, I don't know.
Skeptical, basically, do you know suspicious? Suspicious? Susceptible?
Yes.
The same. When something is suspicious, we can say skeptical as well. But the usage of it is a little bit different. I remain skeptical of their claim, for example, as you see. As an adjective. So, first of all, let's see this video. Where is this? I think it's here. Yes. And then tell me, why should we keep our goals?
Everyone, please think of your biggest personal goal. Okay, for real. You can take a second, you gotta feel this to learn it. Take a few seconds and think of your personal biggest goal. Okay? Imagine deciding right now that you're going to do it. Imagine telling someone that you meet today what you're going to do.
What has happened?
Okay, because Teams stopped automatically. Let me share one more time.
Imagine there. Everyone, please think of your biggest personal goal. Okay, for real. You can take a second, you gotta feel this to learn it. Take a few seconds and think of your personal biggest goal. Okay? Imagine deciding right now that you're going to do it. Imagine telling someone that you meet today what you're going to do. Imagine their congratulations and their high image of you. Doesn't it feel good to say it out loud? Don't you feel one step closer already, like it's already becoming part of your identity? Well, bad news. You should have kept your mouth shut, because that good feeling now will make you less likely to do it. The repeated psychology tests have proven that telling someone your goal makes it less likely to happen. Anytime you have a goal, there are some steps that need to be done, some work that needs to be done in order to achieve it. Ideally, you would not be satisfied until you'd actually done the work. But when you tell someone your goal and they acknowledge it, psychologists have found that it's called a social reality. The mind is kind of tricked into feeling that it's already done. And then because you've felt that satisfaction, you're less motivated to do the actual hard work necessary. So this goes against the conventional wisdom that we should tell our friends our goals, right? So they hold us to it, yeah. So let's look at the proof. 1926, Kurt Lewin, founder of social psychology, called this substitution. 1933, Vera Mahler found when it was acknowledged by others, it felt real in the mind. 1982, Peter Gawitzer wrote a whole book about this, and in 2009, he did some new tests that were published. It goes like this. 163 people across 4 separate tests. Everyone wrote down their personal goal. Then half of them announced their commitment to this goal to the room, and half didn't. And then everyone was given 45 minutes of work that would directly lead them towards their goal, but they were told that they could stop at any time. Now, those who kept their mouths shut worked the entire 45 minutes on average, and when asked afterwards, said that they felt that they had a long way to go still to achieve their goal. But those who had announced it quit after only 33 minutes on average, and when asked afterwards, said that they felt much closer to achieving their goal. So, if this is true, what can we do? Well, you could resist the temptation to announce your goal. You can delay the gratification that the social acknowledgement brings, and you can understand that your mind mistakes the talking for the doing. But if you do need to talk about something, you can state it in a way that gives you no satisfaction. Such as, I really want to run this marathon, so I need to train 5 times a week and kick my ass if I don't, okay? So audience, next time you're tempted to tell someone your goal, what will you say? Exactly, well done.
So what did you understand?
I have understand another reason for keeping your goals yourself. It's psychological aspect, like when you are every goal must have step actions to reach it, and without the actions, without finishing or doing the actions steps, if you will talk about your goals, it would be like you did these steps. It's like you reach what you wanted, your satisfaction, and you will feel like you did something, some of steps or some action in the way of for your goal, but actually you didn't do anything. Yes. Actually, you haven't done anything, and but because of you got that satisfaction, you will feel yourself less motivated and won't be as motivated as you was to reach your goal. That leads to motivational problems in really reaching your goals with no talks. So it's like illusion.
So, where is this? It is here. Yes. What does weird mean to you? Is it a positive or negative thing?
Weird.
Yes.
Weird. It's
Weird,
not
absurd, abnormal, bizarre. Synonyms.
Yeah, it's like just something
Not normal.
Not normal, yeah. Not
Outstanding, but absurd. Be careful. So,
it's difficult to just say that it's positive, but I think positive is more suitable description, because generally weird is like something that is not, that others don't do, but it's not always means that it's bad things. Maybe let me think.
For example, is it
Maybe-
really always outstanding? Or it's always stupid thing? To be weird, or do you think being weird is normal?
Weird. Be weird. It's normal. Weird. I think most of human society it's with things that does others of majority, things that majority don't do, and it's not mean that majority do have always good things or negative things. It has its difficulties and complexes. So saying exactly is it positive or negative thing, it is difficult, but if about topic of keeping your goals, maybe weird is not a negative thing. It's more like a positive thing because of weird is like something unique that you have. And I don't do that in reaching of your goals or in something such. Your absurds are like have harmful effect.
So, how can we celebrate our weirdness and the weirdness of others? Interesting question.
Celebrate weirdness.
You can directly translate it.
Breaking your absurds. I could not imagine that.
Should we celebrate it? Oley, I'm so absurd, something like that. Why? Why not? Maybe it helps you to understand the case.
So ladies and gentlemen, at TED we talk a lot about leadership and how to make a movement. So let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed. But what he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends. Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. The first follower is what transforms a lone nut into a leader. And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd, and the crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important to show not just the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So, notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. So, over the next minute, you'll see all of the those that prefer to stick with the crowd, because eventually they would be ridiculed for not joining in. And that's how you make a movement. But let's recap some lessons from this. So, first, if you are the type, like the shirtless dancing guy, that is standing alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals. So it's clearly about the movement, not you. Okay, but we might have missed the real lesson here. The biggest lesson, if you noticed, did you catch it? Is that leadership is over-glorified.
Leadership is always over-glorified. Till here, what did you understand? How can you summarize it?
It's about weirdness of one guy leading to popularity of that, and it created a social group that has the same weirdness, as I understood.
So as you can see, it's awareness, right? So
Yeah.
how can you explain this case? They are celebrating now in this video.
Yes. The weirdness closely connected with dancing, happiness. But I think weirdness also can be defined in another ways too. Just that which are connects with bad things.
So have you had
So
such a case in your life?
weirdness.
Have you ever experienced such a case?
I think maybe something happened same, but I don't remember.
For example,
Maybe like in such weirdnesses, I haven't been the leader who started, but I actually had maybe experiences with like a follower of such weirdnesses. Maybe on maybe on school discourse,
Or
in on school discourse, by when somebody creates his own dancing styles and others repeats it. And also I have seen bodies who are mover creates such weirdnesses. Like majority are not doing something, and suddenly somebody has started maybe clapping.
okay, I accept
On
it.
the events, like, and others started to repeat. But without him, nobody could do clapping like. Always in society must be one leader of awareness.
So do you have such an example for the society?
I think no, because of some. If I create something such, I must be remembered, but I don't remember such memories. So I'm saying I haven't experienced it enough.
Do you think, or okay, have you ever had a time when being aware turned out to be a strength?
Being weird turned out to strange, like. Be maybe it's about activeness of society, like as example, there happens any tournament and two parts has their supporters, but when one side started to win, their supporters started to shooting and shooting, supporting any other actions to increase their motivation and how high it will be their voice, how loudly will be their decides. I think it decides many things, even the results of the tournament, because how strong will be your awareness that you do, so others, majorities, could not affect on you. You will be like somebody who has strength to stop majority by the strength of your witness.
Okay.
If it's be like bad experience of you haven't said enough supports, you would be your voice would be displaced by against common supporters' voice. But if your voice will be louder, you will displace everybody. Like
okay, from another perspective, previous video. Are there ways to share your goals with others in a way that is motivating and productive? It is written here.
it has yes, but it has own nuances. You must do any part or steps or in the way for reaching your goal, because without with your actions your talks would be have another psychological perspective. If you will say without any actions, it looks like empty satisfaction, but if you done something for your goal, it would be like the level of satisfaction that you got, and maybe your psychological psychological status will try to get more or higher satisfaction, and it will your psychological will understand that only with a big only with a big work you will get the big satisfaction and will stream to that.
Perfect. How can you find the balance between seeking support and social validation? Next question.
Seeking support. I understand social validation like when social accepts your actions, and maybe somebody supports you, but not but not all of them supports you. But overall they accept your actions.
But how can you balance it?
What?
How can you balance it?
Maybe
So,
Firstly, thinking about maybe thinking about consequences, like is it needable to get accept in society for you in the complex steps. It's like you could have even supporters, but most of social can be against to you. So maybe we always have majority in social, and you it's easier for you to find their these majorities wishes, what is in what is prioritized for them, priorities for them, and they and you must consist that things.
consist?
To
I'm not sure about
нет.
consist.
No, not consist. You must. It's like you must taking it in your account, taking their wishes, and not do anything against to set wishes. And you can find supporters. Thanks for that you don't do actions that can turn into the hinder for majority's wishes. You will you can against do things that can improve something for wishes of majority in society, and majority will can help you to in your goals, and because of your actions, your goals connects with their perspective, their wishes, so they will help you to reach your goal, and also because of their majority, overall social will accept you.
Society will accept.
Society will accept your actions. So you will have balance.
Perfect. So, next one. Let's see what he says about cultural differences.
So imagine you're standing on a street anywhere in America, and a Japanese man comes up to you and says, excuse me, what is the name of this block? And you say, I'm sorry, well, this is Oak Street, that's Elm Street, this is 26th, that's 27th. He says, okay, but what is the name of that block? You say, well, blocks don't have names. Streets have names. Blocks are just the unnamed spaces in between streets. He leaves a little confused and disappointed. So now imagine you're standing on a street anywhere in Japan. You turn to a person next to you and say, excuse me, what is the name of this street? And they say, oh, well, that's block 17 and this is block 16. And you say, okay, but what is the name of this street? And they say, well, streets don't have names. Blocks have names. Just look at Google Maps here. There's block 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All of these blocks have names, and the streets are just the unnamed spaces in between the blocks. And you say, okay, then how do you know your home address? I said, well, easy. This is District 8. There's block 17, house number 1. You say, okay, but walking around the neighborhood, I noticed that the house numbers don't go in order. He said, of course they do. They go in the order in which they were built. The first house ever built on a block is house number 1. The second house ever built is house number 2. Third is house number 3. It's easy, it's obvious. So I love that sometimes we need to go to the opposite side of the world to realize assumptions we didn't even know we had, and realize that the opposite of them may also be true. So for example, there are doctors in China who believe that it's their job to keep you healthy. So any month you are healthy, you pay them. And when you're sick, you don't have to pay them because they failed at their job. They get rich when you're healthy, not sick. In most music, we think of the 1 as the downbeat, the beginning of the musical phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in West African music, the 1 is thought of as the end of the phrase, like the period at the end of a sentence. So you can hear it not just in the phrasing, but the way they count off their music. 2, 3, 4, 1. And this map is also accurate. There's a saying that whatever true thing you can say about India, the opposite is also true. So let's never forget, whether at TED or anywhere else, that whatever brilliant ideas you have or hear, that the opposite may also be true. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.
So what did you understand?
Maybe I understood that there is many cultural distincts, difference. And sometimes it's really look like such one culture have something and other culture even have no such thing. Even not it's not like distinct different, it's like something that has only one culture. And so cultural difference are very actual.
Differences
are very actual. We have said about examples like streets, which are known in Japan, but they are in America. So about 1, 2, 3 musician that used in Africa in another way by 2, 3, 4 and 1 it's like the finish, but in American culture it's like starts. Yeah.
Different. So, do you know such an example all over the world?
Example
do you know
of what?
any example of this cultural difference? Interesting cultural differences.
Maybe like saying hello in another countries, like Kazakhs are what Kazakhs holds their hands with open hands, but in China they are, or in Japan, I don't remember, they are bending over. in saying hello.
Okay, maybe a little bit important or big difference.
Mm.
Like such an example, home address, etc.
Oh. Some countries of Europe don't use electronic government. As example, Kazakhstan use it, and so
Germany, for example, they have just announced it.
yeah, and so taking collecting your documents needs more time in Germany than in Kazakhstan. Like, and
for example, how does these cultural differences impact communication and understanding between people from various backgrounds?
These differences makes confuse every opponent's cultures, but maybe it gives it gives new experience or ideas for both of cultures. Maybe by knowing that addresses are using another way in Japan, they can create something new, other system that is more acceptable for America. Like,
okay, but
like
how
that.
communication is affected by this situation?
Communication
and understanding between people.
Understanding would be these differences will lead to confuses between society, but I think overall by many experiences it leads to it makes easier understandings between cultures, because of they will start to understand themselves more deeply.
So have you ever encountered a situation where a cultural misunderstanding led to confusion?
Have I been in that such situation? Nope. Nope yet.
So what are the strategies, or what are some strategies for navigating cultural differences in globalized world?
Globalizing world, maybe keeping your traditions, maybe creating common system that not contradicts to any other tradition. It's also difficult thing because maybe Japanese used such type of numbering full of their history, I don't know. And maybe American used another numbering too, and that's difficult to find common decision. But maybe they can create a name of streets for Americans, and Americans will create the name of blocks for Japanese. Not official, only for cultural connects, maybe.
Why not? So, I think we can come to the end. So, do you have a question before finishing the lesson?
No.
So, thank you for today. Take care of yourself. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks.